Sherry here, and I just want to forewarn you what was supposed to be a simple what I eat in a day as a little sweet carnivore and what a vegan eats in a day as a sweet little vegan piggy, and it just kind of went all over the place. Tried to add in a little pole dance and chill, making it a fun gangster glow up. However, you know what? We just got to roll with the punches and just see what comes and see what's created and see how this all plays out. Because honestly, it's going to be all over the place and I'm here for it. And I just want to say thanks so much for hanging out with us. And Itchy just wanted to say, I love you. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. Love and light. I know, I don't like that noise either. However, we were in here getting a snack for the babies. And yeah, we just thought we'd say, hello, love and light. Give yourself grace. And thank you so much for hanging out with us. Now, are you ready to share an epic day with me? Un, deux, trois, let's go. Let's go ahead and do a little three-way. Right here are my ribeye trimmings. These I'm going to go ahead and cook on the cast iron and turn them into like this buttery, delicious like quesadilla moment magic. And then in here, I bought a ceramic little Instant Pot insert and I'm loving it. And you can see in there that I went ahead and we're going to pressure cook this ribeye. Even though recently I've added in some ground bison, I always have my pressure cooked ribeye going down. We've been doing it now for over 3 months and I can do this because it's cold. And this is kind of the thing that caused me to have third-degree burns on my little feeties. However, look at them now. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and we are going to pressure cook the Instant Pot. Let's put our lid on and then I will start it up and we will go ahead and later on make the steak into our little crunch wrap. And I'm getting ready right now to have some coffee and some of my epic little LMNT Armra situation. Love it so much. And then we're going to get ready to make some bison. That's how much bone marrow I got out of those 3 bones. And there you have it. And then if you look in the cast iron, you will see that there's some in here also. Sometimes I pour on top, sometimes I don't. Egg yolk muffins dipped in this. Fire. So fire. Now, even though I'm on a low histamine diet, you can go ahead and pressure cook these over in my Instant Pot, which you can kind of hear right now, doing a ribeye. Put this in there for 2 hours and just use the meat out the bones. And I hate to say toss the bones, but you have to if you're going to do bone marrow and bone like broth properly. Whatever. Okay. What I'm going to do is take some of this mineral salt, sprinkle it on there, and then go ahead, get some ground bison. Maybe do some yummy situation. So soft on the gums, which is fire. I love it so much. I guarantee you I will go through the 1 1/4 pounds of bison and I'm going to eat the fat from this bone marrow. There's so many reasons why I'm into it and I will chit chat with you about that later. We have something to talk about today. And I can't wait to hear what you had to say about it. So I'm going to go ahead, put this lunch in the books, and we're going to get started because I really want to know, what are your thoughts? I just realized I did not film anything I just said. I am taking a package of Costco bison, and this is done for me. So I'm going to turn it off, and I will eat this whole thing, even though I just made the ribeyes. It doesn't matter. I like to eat, and I will be eating it. This is a different protocol than what I've done lately. But I'm also going to get my bone marrow right now and share that with you because my mouth is watering. Well, hello, beautiful world. Welcome back to the Morgan Clubhouse, also known as my YouTube channel. And oh my goodness, it is legit day 229 of what started out being the handstand challenge. And today we're gonna pull a little okay, what we're going to do is we're pulling one of those Real Housewives of Beverly Hills Vanderpump Rules moments when, before Vanderpump Rules was even a show, back in the day, there was an episode of the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills when Vanderpump Rules did like a little mix mash together and ended up becoming like what the Empire is today, which... wow, that is something we can talk about one day. We can go into the Vanderpump Rules, all that good stuff. You already know I'm obsessed with Selling Sunset and all that. Okay. That being said, I know I have a side tangent going on there. However, it represents what we're doing today because we are doing our little handstand challenge situation sandwiched in with what I eat in a day. And since I haven't finished eating for the day, I'm not exactly sure what I'm going to have for dinner. So I'm not going to spoil it for you. Don't you worry. However, I will say, I did have today one of my LMNT Electrolyte Armra colostrum little slushy situations. It is so freaking yummy. However, when I ended up filming it, it is like way too long to put in this video. However, there is a cute little short of Itchy and I like making this little, oh my god, oh, so cute. He's so very cute. You have to go see it. It's so adorable. Okay, so I'll stop with that. That is not going to be in the video, but do know I did drink that, okay? I had a little bit of coffee this morning. I have my 3 large decaf Americanos like I get all the time. And I've already had, did I drink 3 already? I think I already had 3. I know, I'm a bad girl. I know. And I have another one that's waiting for me down in the wings. So I'm excited about that. Okay, that being said, I'm going to share with you everything else. And I will share the coffee that I'm about to have in a little while here. And my little kombucha. My little kombucha baby, you know already. I love my freaking snow cone. And one day we are going to chit chat about those snow cones because they are game changers like no other. This little snow cone machine, which you can find the videos here on my YouTube channel, is absolutely magical. Like I go back and watch my own videos to see how I did certain things sometimes because I forget. Like I've legit, like being honest with you, I have been doing the pressure cooked ribeyes for like 3 months now. I just started adding back in the bison, which I did share today. Spoiler alert, I did share that because I want you to see what I am eating right now. And the reasoning behind it is it all has to do with recovery. I'm trying to put myself in the very best position I can to grow bone, grow muscle, to be as healthy as I can. So as I continue on with my whole oral surgery recovery or anything else that's going on right now, I mean, I had that burn, all of that. I just want to show up the very best I can and be the very best patient for my doctor to be able to do the best work he can and for me to recover the best way I can. So the way I'm eating right now, it just lightens the load. And that bone marrow, I don't know. It's going to be hard to convince me that bone marrow isn't magical. I have so many stories. If you want to know about my bone marrow experiment, all of that good stuff, I got you. We got this. But let's go put this little handstand situation in the books, and we're going to move on from that. Are you ready for it? That's why. Let's go. Okay. So, hi. Hello, beautiful world. Happy Saturday. Happy Dr. Pool Day. I hope wherever you're at, you're having a magical day. Living your dreams and living your best life. Okay, so we're doing a what I eat in a day situation here. And what I'm sharing with you is legit. Now, when I processed the meat this morning, the ribeye, I did it where I normally do my 3-way because I like having a 3-way. I have the fat cap, which when we cook those, we put those in the air fryer, or we can do those in the oven. If you want to see how to do them in the oven, hit me up and let me know down below. We'll totally do that. That's like one of the biggest things about my channel is my recipes. I want them to be very easy and accessible. And one thing I wanted to say, okay, we're doing the steak 3-way. And tonight, I'm going to make it either in a cast iron or a ceramic. Now, here's the thing. Here's the tea on this. I am not the biggest fan of recommending, now hear me out. I'm not the biggest fan of recommending larger cast iron skillets. And the reason why is I look at the dexterity of them. I have a real small one that I like to roast my bones in, and I love that one so much because it's not too heavy. It does fit into my air fryer, which again then I can use over in the oven, and I can use that on the stove as well. And you could probably fit 3 eggs in there. I don't know, I don't really cook eggs in there, but for the most part, whenever I do fat bites or I do my small bones where I could fit like 4 in there, it's just like a perfect consistency. Now, the bone marrow that I put on my foot, I like to cook that separate, obviously, because it's different of what I'm going to use it for and the purity of it. So it's just a different way of doing things, but it's still super easy. The roasted bone marrow tastes so freaking yummy, and it is so healing. And I just think about it like you roast it and then you eat that, and like your little mouth is getting some of that bone marrow with those beautiful stem cells, which if you didn't know, the stem cells in bone marrow are like legit. Okay, if you get grossed out, tap the screen right now so you don't hear this. But if you don't get grossed out, then you should be all right here. Okay, so stem cells and bone marrow. One of the reasons why, which I didn't realize, the stem cells that are in bone marrow are legit. Number 1 is embryo, okay, which obviously isn't that, something I'm going to do is go get embryonic stem cells for myself and gobble them down. That's not really going to happen. But number 2 is menstrual blood. And yeah, believe it or not, they have menstrual blood banks. It's pretty crazy, but they do. Kind of like breast milk banks, they have the menstrual blood. Okay, so, but then you go to the bone marrow, and not only, and I'm not saying that the roasted bone marrow that we cook here is as concentrated or works the exact same as live stem cells that might be in you right now. However, I'm just saying that at the end of the day, I know what I have been through when it comes to injury, insult, and all kinds of like issues that I have had with my health, and what has happened since I've added the bone marrow in, which it's been 5 years since I started the carnivore diet. And yeah, I told you before, I have kombucha and I have coffee and all that kind of stuff. However, for the most part, I didn't back then. Like, I've gone through years of like making all kinds of ice creams out of egg yolks and butter and water and all this stuff. I mean, I'm telling you straight up that I had followed this
whole entire animal-based thing for 5 years. And there was only like one time I stopped, and that was because I had some medical issues going on, and when I was in the hospital, they gave me an IV of sugar water or whatever just to like rehydrate me. You know, let them do what they gotta do. They're the experts, they're the doctors. And since then, though, with what I have going on, I definitely want to make sure that I am creating the best habitat that I could have to grow bone in. I do the vibration plate, Histamine, defy gravity here. If you go and take a look at like what astronauts do when they come back, they do the rebounder and all that kind of thing, but I'm really into looking at the best way possible. What can I do to prepare myself for the best outcome? And legit, that is why I tell you to rub your freaking feet right there. Because you know what? Even if you're having a stressful day, you start rubbing your feet. I mean, come on now. How can you get mad? And at the same time, you know, they always tell you once a month to go fill yourself up for a monthly breast exam to feel for any lumps. And I'm saying, why are you waiting? Why are you waiting a month? Why aren't you touching yourself and rubbing yourself? And I don't mean that gnarly, okay? I'm not saying that all nasty and perverted. I'm just saying, like, we need to be looking out for ourselves. Like, be filling yourself up, giving yourself a rub. Go touch your feet. Find out if you're sore in certain areas or if something doesn't feel right, feels off. 99% of the time, if you're hurting somewhere, like your feet are hurting, are you standing up doing something in crazy ass shoes that have red bottoms and like 9-inch heels? Yes, please. Yeah, legit. That's like your feet. Instead of you taking an Advil, it's probably saying, girl, go watch Dr. Polar Shark Tank. Or go have some fun like holding itchy watching Family Feud. You know, it's that situation. So I know I said I wasn't going to ramble today because we're doing the what I eat today. Unfortunately, you know what happens. I get upside down. I start spinning around. The truth serum comes out. And now we're chit-chatting about crazy because I get that way. Driving us crazy over here. No, but legit, if you look and see what astronauts do to regain bone mass, I mean, here's the thing. If you're not 6 feet under right now, that means you still have another moment to go out there and be the very best superhero you can be. And who's to say that if you're going to be a freaking superhero, that you're not able to keep creating, building, rebuilding, and being the best you ever. Recovery is life, okay? It doesn't just end in a month. And promising pipeline dreams that you're going to be better and healed 100% in 2 or 3 months from something, okay, cool. Guess what? If you believe that, I got some oceanfront property in Arizona. And if you like that, how's that song? I want some oceanfront property in Arizona. From the front porch you can see the sea. I mean, legit, okay? I'm not trying to burst your bubble during all what I eat in a day, little pole scramble here. I'm just saying straight up, put yourself in the best position. You would say that to your child, to your friend, to somebody you really care about. Put yourself in the very best position you can. And you know what? Here's the tea. Is somebody can say to me, but girlfriend, what you're eating isn't going to help you for that kind of thing. Okay, you know what? That's fine. If I find that out in the future, I'm just doing right now what's working the best for me at this point. Because I know that showing up every day, doing something consistently, and really finding sparking and joying and loving in the whole mix, I mean, why not have a good time in this lifetime? Because we freaking deserve that. And the only way that's going to happen is if you find out what's going to make you happy and what's going to be fun. And yeah, and at the end of the day, I will stop rambling and just say thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate it. If you have any questions whatsoever, you want to hear stories, we can go there. Lots of fun. However, I'm going to get out of here and just tell you thanks so much because you are a rock star, superstar, an angel in my heart. And I will see you mañana. Actually, I'll see you some more here when we just share all the cool stuff that we're going to have today. But like I said, the element went too long, but it's a freaking yummy drink. And I'll definitely be making this a really cool video for you. But that being the case, rockstar, superstar, an angel in my heart, and I will see you mañana. She's great.
So what we have here, this is pressure cooked ribeye, and I had it in the Instant Pot for about 2.5 hours. And right here is actually ground lamb, and it is something I bought from Sprouts just for a little bit of variety to try to add in lamb a little bit and see what happens. But you know, one of those things where I'm not going to eat all of it. That's for sure. Like, that's like way too much. However, I wanted to share that this is what the pressure cooked beef looked like. Didn't end up doing the ribeye on the stove. We'll be doing that mañana. And just wanted to share that you can then take the broth. Now, I did do this on purpose. I put it in the plastic bag just because I wanted to put it in the refrigerator to skim the fat off the top and then transfer it into my little mason jar. And there you have it. Woohoo! I had a kombucha snow cone earlier and I forgot to film it, but I did. Yeah, there you have it. Probably gonna have jello before I go to bed, just FYI. And I won't be able to film it because I'm going to be editing this before then. Yeah. Okay. A mini What I Eat in a Day vegan edition at the Morgan Piggy Palace. You can see Savage is enjoying his. And then you got Miss Little Patina Fish over here, Cardi P, is digging in on her green pepper. And then check this out. This little guy, little Itchmeister, he's just having a ball with his crack hay, living it up. And if you take a look right over here, there is Scratch Attack, and he is eating his Small Pet Select second cut hay and absolutely living for it. And okay, I have a little tip for any of my little naked piggy parents. Take a look. The blanket inside the tunnel, game changer. They freaking love it. I don't know what it is. Maybe they get a lot warmer in there. I'm not sure. But absolutely go crazy over it. What did you doing? What did you doing? He's just walking around. Okay, time to hit it up for the second cut hay. So funny. They love the variety of hay. I am in transitioning right now, making this the Piggy Cafe. And so the Morgan Piggy Palace will also be the Morgan Piggy Cafe. I cannot wait. It'll be so much fun. If you have any ideas on how I should decorate, hit me up. So far, I'm thinking about some really cute bean bags and that kind of thing. Yeah. Check these out. These are 10-pound weights that have like this little strap situation on the bottom. So you can use these in all different ways. And I truly believe this is one of the best hacks ever to help yourself grow and build some lean tissue by wearing these ankle weights. Now, I will definitely be putting out my routine on how I use them because you do not want to overwork yourself. That is not the goal here whatsoever. I just wanted to share because I was like, you know what, we're on our way outside to go look at the moon, and I feel like I got me some moon boots on, so let's go. And here we are. I know I'm downstairs again, and this day ended up probably being a really long video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. I thank you so much for hanging out with me, and yeah, let's just do this. Let's have a great time, a great night, you know, a great life. You deserve it. You legit do. You absolutely can have whatever it is that you want to have in your life. And all you have to do is become it. Just start with things that you enjoy and start doing them every day. Build that routine of love and resilience for yourself, and just see what happens. Just see what happens without the end goal, with just trying to be in a better position each day. And if you find yourself that you chose something that may have like given you a setback, that is epic, because that is the way you learn and grow, and you learn to trust yourself, and your brain learns to trust itself. And pretty soon you really will be in a place where you're just like, what just happened? Why do I feel peace? What happened to the anxiety? I get so used to living in that state of mind that when Sherry said we need to start dancing and listening to music and rubbing our feet, eating the foods at the time that make sense for where we are in our whole recovery process, and at the end of the day, realizing we are making really great moves just by being patient, for really thinking, taking the time to believe in reality, and to really bank all these experiences. Write them down, film them, whatever you need to do, because you got this. And I have to just say thank you for your inspiration, for hanging out with me. You are absolutely like the cat's meow. And that being said, go right now, run off, get your beauty sleep. Count some sheep first though. Count them sheep, get some beauty sleep, wake up in the morning and make new memories. And just know it just keeps getting better.